Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Thursday, February 9th, 2023. It is the deadline for the NBA trades, the NBA trade deadline. And there have been a lot of moves that have been made today. So, and there were some that are made, obviously the biggest move was made last night with the Kevin Durant deal to Phoenix. But we're going to break down some of the biggest trades here in a little bit. And, how I think it's going to affect the teams going forward. And then Coach and I believe Deb will be on the podcast tomorrow, and they'll further break down the trade deadline. So definitely want to tune into that. If you would hit the like button and then hit subscribe. Once you've done those two things, hit the alarm bell, and that will let you know when the newest podcast has gone live. So thank you for joining us. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, you can join us at dfscoachtalk.com. We have memberships that start as low as $3 for 3 days. So we would love to have you join us. DFS Coach Talk is a very positive and encouraging environment. We'd love to have you join our Discord at dfscoachtalk.com. So with that being said, we've got a 4-game slate today. So not as big as yesterday. We had 9 games to cover yesterday. So it took quite a bit of time. But today is going to be real short. I do want to recap, real quick, some of the biggest trades. Obviously, the biggest one, you had the Kevin Durant trade. Let me pull up the actual breakdowns of these trades. 1 second. Okay, so it was right around like 10:30, I think, last night when the major trade happened with Phoenix. It was after midnight, actually. It was later than I thought. So the Phoenix Suns get Kevin Durant and TJ Warren, and they gave to the Nets Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a 2028 pick swap. So obviously the big news, the Suns get Durant, completely changes their lineup. Their projected starting lineup is going to be Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, I guess Torrey Craig, and then DeAndre Ayton. So really powerful lineup. Phoenix is already, making a push here for the playoffs pretty strong. I believe are they third, somewhere around there in the West. So they're right up there. No, they're 5th. So they're tied with Dallas right now for 4th and 5th spot. So definitely expect Phoenix to make a move. And the same thing with the Mavericks. I was really impressed with how they looked last night. They traded for Kyrie Irving the other day, and the Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith trade for Kyrie Irving. So, Kyrie Irving looks like a really good fit over in Dallas. Looks like they're going to stay in the realms of the Jason Kidd offense, and he just looks like a really good fit. They had a huge win last night in Los Angeles. I don't think many people expected them to beat the Clippers. Clippers have been playing really well of late, and they're right there now in the 4 seed, tied with Phoenix. So I think Phoenix and Dallas are 2 teams that are definitely going to be contending with Denver towards the end of the regular season for that number 1 seed. So those were the 2 biggest trades. The other trade we had that was pretty big was also last night. Was the Los Angeles Lakers, the Utah Jazz, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was a 3-team trade. And in that trade, we saw, excuse me 1 second here. You had, where did my notes go? I'm sorry, 1 second here. I had this pulled up. Where'd it go? Okay. The Lakers got D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and then Utah got Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones, and a first-round pick. I do think that Russell Westbrook is going to be bought out, so he'll probably be picked up. I think the Heat and the Clippers were 2 teams that are looking at him, so we'll have to see what happens there. Reggie Jackson was also moved at the trade deadline. So Russell Westbrook is somebody that Paul George has mentioned that he wants them to get. So we'll see if he goes to the Clippers. And then in that trade, also the Timberwolves got Mike Conley, Nikhil Alexander Walker, and draft picks. So those were the three biggest trades. There were a lot of other trades. The Raptors, they traded for Jakob Poeltl. The Lakers and the Magic made a trade with Patrick Beverley for Mo Bamba. My Bucks, they picked up Jay Crowder. Hopefully they're thinking that he could fill that PJ Tucker type role that they saw in 2021 when they traded for PJ Tucker. That's what their kind of hope is with Jay Crowder. So a ton of trades today. Not going to break them all down, but just wanted to break down some of the main ones, the biggest ones, because obviously that's what today is in the NBA. It's everyone's focused on that. And then tomorrow, like I said, Coach and Dev are going to break it down more in depth. So I will leave that for them. Let me go ahead and check and see the comments tonight. Only value is the Suns. No, I wouldn't say that. You've got value. There's quite a few spots for value actually. So I'll get into that here in a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and get into the 4-game slate. The first game we have at 7 p.m. Eastern, the Denver Nuggets at the Orlando Magic. Denver is favored by 6. It has a 231.5 over/under. I will say these teams played each other in January, on January 15th, and it was only a 3-point game. Denver only won by 3. So if you're expecting a blowout here, you may want to reconsider. Orlando, has been playing teams pretty tough. I know they don't have a great record. They're 22-33, but this game could be closer than you expect, especially with Jamal Murray questionable. So if he's out, then I definitely think this game will be close. But so what we have is Jamal Murray's questionable. Zeke Naji is also questionable for the Nuggets. Looks like he's not going to play, actually. Unlikely to play. And then you have Gary Harris is listed as questionable. And then Patrick Beverley, who the Magic just acquired from the Lakers, obviously he's going to be out. And then Thomas Bryant, who the Nuggets acquired from the Lakers, he's going to be out. And of course, Connor Gillespie is still out. The projected starting lineup for the Nuggets as of right now, it's Jamal Murray, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. I think that Ish Smith could end up being the starting point guard. We'll have to see what happens. But with Bones Highland, who was also traded, he was traded to the Clippers. He's like the only point guard that's left on their roster. So Ish Smith could be somebody, if Jamal Murray is ruled out, that would be a value starter. Orlando, they have a projected starting lineup of Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, like I said, he's questionable, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. So for me in this game, my favorite plays on the Nuggets side, obviously the Joker. He's 11,000 on DraftKings, 11.7 on FanDuel, $58 on Yahoo. He's averaged 58.2 DraftKings points the last 5 times that he's faced Orlando. He had 59.5 against them on January 15th. Then you have the revenge game here for Aaron Gordon. Of course, he played, most of his younger years with the Magic, and he is 6,800 on DraftKings, 7,400 on FanDuel, $28 on Yahoo. He had 43 DraftKings points against Orlando on January 15th. So I do like Aaron Gordon. Same thing with Michael Porter Jr. Orlando's allowed the 4th most fantasy points to small forward, so it's a good matchup for him. And then, like I mentioned, with Jamal Murray questionable, Bones Highland being traded to the Clippers, you have Ish Smith. He's been playing, he's playing about 20 minutes the last couple of games anyway. I think you could see possibly even more minutes than that in this game tonight. And he's 3,200 on DraftKings, 3,900 on FanDuel, and $10 on Yahoo. For Orlando, you have Markelle Fultz. He's 5,700 on DraftKings, 6,500 on FanDuel, $21 on Yahoo. The Nuggets have allowed the 10th most fantasy points to point guards this year, and he did have 39.8 DraftKings points against the Nuggets on January 15th. Check to see if there's any questions. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them in the chat. Anything you want to talk about as far as the trades, we can go over that as well. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. We have the Phoenix Suns at the Atlanta Hawks. It's 7:30 6:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Hawks are favored by 7. It has a 228.5 over-under. It's the second highest over-under on the slate. Actually, no, it's the third. Denver and Orlando is higher at 231.5. But, for Phoenix, with the big trade that they just made, they have some value here with Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges being traded. You've got, looks like a lot of guys are going to be out. Obviously, Durant's not going to play yet, and TJ Warren, same thing for him. But they still have Booker out, Cameron Payne, and Landry Shamet. And then they also acquired Darius Bazley, and he's going to be out as well, too. So a lot of guys out for Phoenix. There is a lot of value on their side. They also traded Dario Saric. So he was the Darius Bazley trade. They traded for Bazley with Saric. So he's out. And then for the Hawks, they acquired Sadiq Bey. He's not going to play, I wouldn't think, although it does say that he's questionable. I'm almost positive he's not going to play. And Garrison Matthews, they also acquired. And then Bruno Fernando, he's out. So the projected starting lineup, you have Chris Paul, Damian Lee, Josh Okogie, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton. For the Hawks, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. I think Chris Paul's in play with Booker out and, the Bridges and Johnson gone. I think he's in play. 7,300 on DraftKings, 8,100 on FanDuel, $33 on Yahoo. Damian Lee is filling in for Bridges. He's 3,200 on DraftKings, 3,900 on FanDuel, and $10 on Yahoo. And then you have Josh Okogie, who's played pretty well in limited opportunities this year with injuries and everything. So I do like him. He's 3,000 on DraftKings, 3,700 on FanDuel, and $10 on Yahoo. For the Hawks, you have DeJounte Murray. He's 8,700 on DraftKings, 8,800 on FanDuel, $36 on Yahoo. They don't have Mikal Bridges in there to guard him now, so I think he's a good play tonight. He's a little cheaper than Trae Young, so I like him a little bit more. And the other play I like for Atlanta is I know he's not projected to start, but Bogdanovich has been playing pretty well lately. He's 5,400 on DraftKings, 6,100 on FanDuel, and $19 on Yahoo. So I do like Bogdanovich in this spot. Next game, we have the Chicago Bulls at the Brooklyn Nets. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Brooklyn is favored by 2. It has a 227 over-under. For the Bulls, you have Alex Caruso. He is likely to play. Patrick Williams is also expected to play. And then DeMar DeRozan, the big news, he is questionable. So he could very well be out. And then Lonzo Ball and Javonte Green are still out. For the Nets, obviously the 2 new guys, Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, are not going to play yet. Seth Curry is still out for them, so you will have some value options here for the Nets. We've got on the Bulls side projected starting lineup: Ayo Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic, and then for the Nets, Ben Simmons. It looks like Spencer Dinwiddie will play tonight and make his debut with the Nets, or his re-debut because he was there before. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, I think he's also going to play. And then it looks like Joe Harris is projected to start, though. So you have Simmons, Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, and Nicholas Claxton. In this game, I like Nikola Vucevic. He's 9,000 on both DraftKings and FanDuel, $37 on Yahoo. And then I still think, I know Coach has made some comments about him recently, but for his price, especially on DraftKings at 3,300 and only 14 on Yahoo, he's 4,400 on FanDuel, so I'm probably not going to go there. But Andre Drummond is a value play. If he can get you 15 to 20 fantasy points, at 3,300, that's, still 5.5x value. So pretty good value there. And if he does anything more than that, then it's just gravy. But I do think that, if you have your lineup and you've only got 3,400, something like that left, that Drummond's an obvious, or not obvious, but an option for a value play as a last guy in. And then on the Nets, Nicholas Claxton, he's 7,600 on DraftKings, 8,400 on FanDuel, $30 on Yahoo. He's averaged 46 DraftKings points in his last 3 games. And as we've talked about a lot of times on here, Nikola Vucevic is not a great defender. So I think Claxton can have a really nice game again. Spencer Dinwiddie is in a good spot. He had 47 DraftKings points against the Bulls on December 10th. He's 8,100 on DraftKings, 7,900 on FanDuel, $30 on Yahoo. So I do like Dinwiddie in his Nets debut. And then we have to talk about Cam Thomas. He's 7,800 on DraftKings, 7,300 on FanDuel, and $25 on Yahoo. So his price has definitely gone up, but he's averaged 57.8 DraftKings points in his last 3 games. First player since Allen Iverson that's had 30 straight 40-point games, and he's now the youngest to ever do it. So definitely going to be playing Cam Thomas again. He's probably going to be chalky, but, if he's going to get us, even at his price, with it gone up and everything now in the mid to upper 7s, I still think, if he can get us even 40 fantasy points, it's still a really good spot. So I do like Cam Thomas. We'll check the ownership here in a little bit, but Cam Thomas is in play still. Last game of the night, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, my Milwaukee Bucks at the Los Angeles Lakers. It starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee is favored by 7, has the highest over-under on the slate at 238. For the Bucks, Giannis and Brook Lopez are probable. And then looks like Jay Crowder, obviously they just made the trade for him, so he won't be playing. And then Joe Ingles and Bobby Portis are out. For the Lakers, I think Anthony Davis is likely to play. LeBron is questionable. We'll have to see if they rest him after breaking the record the other day. Then you have the 3 guys they traded for: Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt. I don't expect them to play. It says game time decision. I just don't expect them to play. And then Mo Bamba, who they traded Patrick Beverley for, he's out. And Devon Reed, who is part of the Thomas Bryant trade, he is also out. Projected starting lineup for the Bucks: Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. For the Lakers: Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves, LeBron if he plays, Rui Hachimura, and then Anthony Davis. For the Bucks, obviously, you have Giannis. He's averaging 63 DraftKings points his last 4 games against the Lakers, averaged 69.2 in his last 5 games overall. He's 12-3 on DraftKings, 12-5 on FanDuel, $57 on Yahoo. Then Drew Holiday, I really like him. He's 7,700 on DraftKings, 7,800 on FanDuel, $32 on Yahoo. The Lakers have allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to point guards this year. He's averaged 49.5 DraftKings points in his last 5 games against the Lakers, and he had 53 DraftKings points against them on December 2nd. And Chris Middleton did play in that game too. So even though Middleton's in the lineup, I still like Drew Holiday. I think that Drew Holiday can still get 40 to 50 fantasy points tonight. Brook Lopez is going up against his former team, 5,600 on DraftKings, 6,600 on FanDuel, $23 on Yahoo. Lakers have allowed the 4th most fantasy points to centers. He had 41 DraftKings points against the Blazers the other night on Monday night, so I do like Brook Lopez in this spot. And then, like I've mentioned several times lately, Chris Middleton, he's only playing around 20. He got 22 minutes, so maybe his minutes are going to come up a little bit now. He got 22 minutes against Portland. Maybe he can get 25 tonight against the Lakers, but he's averaging around 30 fantasy points. His mid 5s, he's 5,500 on DraftKings, $21 on Yahoo, 6,200 on FanDuel. So I'm not sure I'm going to go there, but I do like him on DraftKings and Yahoo. For the Lakers, obviously LeBron, 10-8 on DraftKings, 10-5 on FanDuel, $50 on Yahoo. He had 61.5 DraftKings points against the Bucks on December 2nd, averaged 57.1 against them the last 5 times he's faced them. I don't think that LeBron's going to have a big game tonight. I know how he is, and he gets really motivated and everything for those records and stuff like that. But then he'll be known to take a game, a lot less serious. So I don't see him going for, 60 plus fantasy points tonight. and I wouldn't even be surprised if he sat out. So we'll have to see what happens there. However, I do like Anthony Davis. He's 10-2 on DraftKings, 10-9 on FanDuel, $45 on Yahoo. He had 71 DraftKings points against the Bucks on December 2nd, and he had a really rough game on Tuesday. Was just kind of overshadowed and not in the offense really at all. And I like him a lot tonight. And so he's probably one of my top pay-up options. I think Dennis Schroeder with Patrick Beverley and Westbrook both being traded, he's in a really good spot until D'Angelo Russell gets, put in the lineup. So he's 5,000 on DraftKings, 5,600 on FanDuel, and $20 on Yahoo. The other plays that I like are Lonnie Walker, 3,100 on DraftKings, 4,300 on FanDuel, $10 on Yahoo. And then Austin Reeves, he's that two guard that shoots threes that give the Bucks trouble. So I like him. He's 3,700 on DraftKings, 3,600 on FanDuel, and $10 on Yahoo. What's going on, guys? Glad you joined us. I'm not sure what point you joined. Sorry, I've been rambling here, but hopefully you were able to catch the beginning. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, though. Not going to have any PrizePicks plays. There's just too much news that's up in the air with all the trades and lineup possibilities that could be out there tonight with value and whatnot. There should be some really good PrizePicks plays, but I think that'll open up in the next couple hours. So I'm going to wait for that for our members. Those will be posted in Discord. I might even post them on Twitter. We'll see. But probably just be like 2 or 3 plays for PrizePicks. So before we get out of here, does anybody have any other questions? Oh, I know. We got to look at ownership. That's right. All right. So right now, the current ownership for DraftKings, we have Damian Lee, number 1, 68% owned. It's a 4-game slate, so you're probably going to be playing tournaments, but, I think that if you wanted to fade somebody, that would definitely be, somebody that's a possibility at 68% owned. That's really high. So then you have right below him, Josh Okogie at 3,000. He's 54.6%. Chris Paul, 46.4%. Jock Landale, 40%. Ish Wainwright, 38.4%. So I would say, just looking at this ownership here, all these Suns players, the reality is not all of them are going to go off. Probably only 2 or 3 of them. So I would pick 2 or 3. I would probably lean against. I don't know if Ayton's going to be out. I'm not really sure why Jock Landale is so high in ownership. I haven't seen if there's some news I missed or something, but I think this will be a pretty competitive game. So it's interesting. This ownership's really interesting to me. But, Damian Lee, Ish Wainwright, and Jock Landale, just from a first glance, those are the 3 that I would probably look at fading with that high of ownership. That's just crazy high to me. Then you have Jokic. He's at 38%. Giannis at 36.9%. Torrey Craig, 34.9%. LeBron, 32.2%. I'd probably fade LeBron. Lonnie Walker, 31.1%. DeAndre Ayton, 27.3%. Drew Holiday at 25.4%. Trae Young, 25.2%. As I mentioned earlier, I prefer DeJounte Murray over Trae Young. Nicholas Claxton, 21.8%. Chris Middleton, 20.4%. Markelle Fultz, 19.5%. Anthony Davis, I like him more than LeBron, 18.5%. Jamal Murray, 15.3%. So it looks like he might be playing. Rui Hashimura, 13.1%. And Paulo Banchero, 12%. And then Dennis Schroeder, 11.1%. On FanDuel, same story with Damian Lee, number 1, 57.3%. Josh Okogie, 51.8%. He's probably my favorite value play on Phoenix. Chris Paul, 40.9%. Torrey Craig, 40.8%. LeBron, 38.3%. Ish Wainwright, 38%. Drew Holiday, 35.8%. Giannis, 32%. Jock Landale, 28%. Zach LaVine, 27.5%. Markelle Fultz, 26.7. Anthony Davis, 25.1. DeMar DeRozan, 24. Trae Young, 22.8. Jamal Murray, 21.9. Ben Simmons, 21.7. Pat Connaughton, 21.6. Nicholas Claxton, 20.5. And Franz Wagner, 20.2. On Yahoo, Damian Lee, once again, not quite as high, 43.6. Nicholas Claxton, second at 38.2. Torrey Craig, 34. Trae Young, 31.4. DeAndre Ayton, 30.4. Chris Paul, 30.2. Giannis, 30. Tied with Josh Okogie at 30. Markelle Fultz, 25.8. Jamal Murray, 24.6. Drew Holiday, 24. Anthony Davis, 23.2. Paulo Banchero, 22.8. LeBron, 21. Jock Landale, 21. Cameron Thomas, 20.2. Didn't really see a lot of, unless I missed it, Cameron Thomas on DraftKings and FanDuel. So looks like he may not be quite as chalky. People are probably getting scared off of his price, but I'm not. I think that he's still a solid play. The dude's just a walking bucket. So I do like him. Let's see here. The other plays we've got Ish Wainwright at 18.8, Royce O'Neal 17.6, Wendell Carter Jr. 17.2, Zach LaVine 16.2, Rui Hashimura 16.2, DeMar DeRozan 15.8, Nikola Vucevic 15.4, DeJounte Murray 15.2. LeBron's out. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I figured he would do that. Hopefully the Bucks. That's a little concerning though, actually, because now the Bucks might blow the Lakers out. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens there. That could be a blowout for sure. But yeah, AD is definitely his ownership's definitely going to skyrocket now with LeBron out for sure. He was going to be one of my top plays. Now I'm not so sure. We'll have to see what happens. All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to do it for a quick look at the trade deadline recap and the 4-game slate tonight. Hope you guys have a great night. And Coach and Deb will be back tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA DFS. Thank you.